Well, you guys, I got some unfortunate news. The McLaren Senna, last touched by a certain somebody at our shop. Yes, the sketchy mechanic strikes again. I was having some issues with the car. It wasn't the accumulators. I was getting engine lights, I was getting some fault codes, and I could only think of one person to bring it to, and that is my good friend John here at Yoast, who took in the Senna, and as he took it apart, he unraveled some very mysterious and interesting things going on in the back of my engine bay. This is in the Senna.
Damn.
Yeah. Airbox and blah, 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 blah. So let's go to the back. The sketchy mechanic who worked on my car last did not put this car back together properly, which is the cause of the engine light and the fault codes. You guys took this apart. I asked you, I just need an oil change, right? Been about 7,000 kilometers, guys, daily driven. I've actually driven my Senna. This car needed an oil change, and I said, hey, I don't trust the person who last touched it. Just have a look at it. And how did you first find the issue with the airbox and the intakes and all that?
Yeah, so to do the oil change on this car, we have to pull the rear glass out of it. So we pull the rear glass out of it, we took the trim panels off the edges, and then we could see that the airboxes were not connected properly. So you have...
driver's side, you said, was disconnected.
Driver's side was disconnected. Yes.
That's a big deal in this car.
It is, because it's after the mass airflow sensor, and that's why the fault was coming on.
Damn!
Yeah.
And then what did you find as you went further into it?
Yeah, so we actually found out that the other one was swapped. So we needed to disassemble.
What do you mean swapped?
The reason that this one on the left was disconnected is because they were not installed properly. One goes on the left, one goes on the right, and that's why
so he had them backwards.
They were backwards.
No.
Can you imagine what it would be like if you just decided one day, I wonder how it would feel to go all day wearing my left shoe on my right foot, my right shoe on my left foot.
Good analogy. That was good.
Imagine that. It'd be uncomfortable, and at some point, it would probably send a signal to your brain that says, I don't like this.
And you're running at 120 miles an hour.
That's right. 55, Dave, 55.
55 on the freeway.
But yeah, so you tear all that apart. You guys ended up swapping them back, buttoning everything back up. Underneath the car, what was missing? Anything?
Some hardware.
Hardware.
Some hardware.
Some mismatched hardware. This is the most valuable car we have on the channel. To me, it's worth $1.5 million USD is what I paid for it. That converts into about 2 million Canadian. I'm Canadian, so I always say it's a $2 million car. At the end of the day, why wouldn't you just call the dealership and get like replacement torque screws? Why wouldn't you just call the dealership and buy some of those opposed to putting in like shiny random hardware? That could strip the threads, couldn't it?
Could damage it, yeah.
That would
I don't know. I don't have the answer on that one.
Right?
Because really, a panel under the car, you lose that panel on the freeway.
Oh yeah.
What's the cheapest panel this car is gonna be worth? Like real money, like probably a Maserati Levante.
Under panels, he said, are thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And there's little things like, see this? See how that's tight? There's clips. This whole panel, by the way, is only held in by clips. This carbon panel, this one, you can see how it runs. It runs right along here. It's not attached to this. It runs along here, all clips, all the way up to here, and right up here it has one little nub that basically you pull back and it slides in and out of a hole, but that's it. So if the clips get worn out from being taken apart like this, the clips eventually get loose and it becomes this rattling point. So that's in there and it's attached, but it's so loose because the clips have been used. It's all carbon, and the Sennas are known for rattles.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they'll rattle themselves loose.
Yeah. Thank you for getting this all done.
Of course.
It's all fixed.
Yep.
Now the car's good to go. It's Damon proof, I'm told by John.
You said that?
For now.
Dude, watch your words wisely.
Now the crazy thing is, we're not gonna get into it, but there's actually another vehicle in here that has a bunch of major problems that came from Sketchy Mechanic. Good luck with that one.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll keep you busy for the next few months.
We now have to take on Dave's Bentley issues, which are outside.
Yeah.
Have you shown them everything?
I mean, I think they've seen it, but I'll ask you guys right now. I'm gonna show you the car. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to find out what's wrong with it. You get 3 seconds, that's it. You ready?
1, 2, 3.
Did you spot the problem? If you didn't, that's okay. I'll show you.
Here's a front suspension. You got a solid, well, it's actually a little bit jacked up right now, which is odd. The rear is a 1964 Impala. So there's a problem. Now, I heard when this car got stuck in that prone position when they did the service on it and it was sitting like this for a while, that puts pressure on the system, and either we blew an air line or an airbag or both airbags, we don't know. So
I love how you always say we.
So I didn't put it in the service position. It was actually a Sketchy Mechanic.
Look how
It was actually a Sketchy Mechanic.
It was Sketchy Mechanic. And look how it's currently sitting. It looks actually hilarious. And then you can see the nitrous bottle in the back seats. Which, by the way, John came out this morning when we first pulled up. I was like, oh,
I like this view. It's like, oh,
like, that actually is in the car. I thought maybe that was just for YouTube, and we're like, nope, it's in, and it's attached, and it shoots out the front and everything.
So we tried having an in-house technician because Mike and Tim are doing fabrication race car builds. Not really there to service the car. So we try and do places like Yoast for the McLaren.
People you trust.
And then
find a tech you trust like John. So if you guys have something you need serviced and you're in the SoCal area, hit these guys up. They have their own garage.
McLaren Lamborghini.
Pretty much anything exotic.
You don't love Ferrari.
Well, Ferraris are tricky.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll touch Ferraris. Yeah, we do like full service
I'm
on
gonna
all
send you
exotic.
2 Ferraris now.
Well, what are we doing? Oh yeah. Am I pulling the engines out of them or?
No, you don't have to actually.
Okay, cool.
We have a new issue that we will send you. Yeah.
We'll get there. We gotta run though.
We do. We have to go. We have to take this thing, drop it off. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Let me
Always
pay my
good seeing
bill
you.
and then we're out of here.
All right. Time to get in the, I call it the Flame Queen. It's not the manliest car in the world. But it sounds goddamn good now. That's sick. That's sick. I'll give it that much. I'll give it that much. Yeah, so we're trying to find shops to work with for some maintenance items. We tried having in-house technicians, but as you guys know, that was a complete nightmare. And it's really expensive because you're gonna hold a full-time salary. There's a new shop. It's not new, it's a shop we've never worked with, I should say. And I hit them up, I was like, hey, do you guys service stuff? They said, sure. Bring it on by. So we're gonna check it out today, drop off the Bentley, and see if we can't get some help maintaining our fleet so that we don't have all this freaking downtime, because you're sick of it and so are we. The pops, the bangs, and the red lights. Really appreciate what Alex did with this car. I know the Bentley stalled off for a little bit and we're all frustrated, but I have a wrap I've designed. I have wheels that are cut. I want to add a few other elements that I'm working on right now. I am trying to get in with M Sport. Ironically, a friend of ours is really good friends with the CEO and president to see what if I just shipped them the car and built it in the UK at the actual factory that builds the race cars. Then you're eliminating all the questions of how does this all fit, how does this all work, because they literally designed and built the kit. That's a tall ask, but anything's possible with a little bit of persistence and money. Cool, Bentley pull. It's not slow. It's a weird feeling because the car's so f***ing heavy, even those massive brakes. When you have to slow down, you're always a bit like, oh shit, we're on a Lamborghini. All right, guys, here we go. This is cool. Look at this. What's up, brother?
How are you?
Good, how are you? Where are we?
Novara Motorsport, welcome.
Thank you. I've never been here.
Right in.
Right in. All right, I'm not gonna hit anything, don't worry. All right, so here's the deal. Rear suspension, you'll notice quickly, actually, that it's gonna air out. So, a leak somewhere.
Drive it hard?
Actually, I think what happened was the boys, a gentleman, a mechanic, a sketch mechanic that worked for us, did a service on it and he didn't press the service button, so it drops to the ground. We put it on the ground, it's sitting like this, like fully aired up. And I think just the pressure of that went up in it.
Gotcha.
It's got the rear leaking suspension, and then in the back somewhere when you turn or driving, you can hear like a tick, 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 it's rubbing.
Okay.
It's got nitrous in it. It's fully straight piped.
Okay.
Has a flame tune now, so it's kind of loud. Yeah, it sounds good. And then this diffuser Mike built for me, but we haven't done the stays yet. So unfortunately I was on the highway and started fluttering and lost my grills.
Nice.
So I have one in the trunk. We need to call Bentley and get another one.
Okay. You want us to handle that for you?
Perhaps. I'm not sure how long it'll take to get one, but I'll show you the other one I've got back here. So it's already starting to hit the ground. There's one of them.
Nice. Okay. Got it.
The other one's on the 405 somewhere.
You found this on the 405?
That one actually, ironically what happened was it was fluttering like a mother at high speed, and it was literally stuck like hanging in right here a little bit, and the other one was gone. So there's that. So you guys do like service and what do you guys do here?
So for example, that F8 is getting full exhaust, downpipes, wheels. That McLaren blew up the motor, replacing the motor
No.
to custom exhaust, everything, yeah.
720s love to eat motors.
Sure. Well, that's 650, but yeah.
Is that 650?
Yeah, 650. We actually got two 650s there that both engines are blowing up.
And how long you been in business for?
2 years.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Yeah. Actually, you came to my old shop. I was at 1,000 square foot shop.
And what do you have? This is huge.
11 down, 3 down.
Dope.
So, yeah, I mean,
okay.
A little bit of everything. So anyways, we'll take care of this, jack it up today.
We got a lot of
Figure
broken cars, my friend.
We'll bring them
We
by.
got 2 broken 599s.
Bring them by.
Do Ferrari stuff?
We do everything. Everything.
Careful what you wish for.
The only thing I would say we don't do is probably like hypercar stuff, like Bugattis and stuff.
How about
like
that thing?
That's a 720 under all that. Hey, I mean, sick as hell. I'm not saying it's not, but end of the day.
Fair.
But so yeah,
Fair.
cool.
Cool, dude. All right, we're back. Tim,
Yeah.
talk to me, Goose.
Another bad alternator.
Really?
That's what it seems like. What? The voltage is not getting to where it's supposed to be.
Okay, Damon had a lower truck back in the day with a big system, which means he put a big alternator in it.
Yeah.
Remember we used to do like ambulance alternators in our cars to support the stereo?
Crazy ones.
So why don't we just do that in this thing?
That is an option.
Yeah. Why do I have to do these things, Tim?
Need more juice, Goose.
We could put more juice in it. I don't know if it,
I can't stop fixating on the fact that I have an aftermarket grill and you have a proper grill.
what's better?
By the way, your car looks really good with my stock factory wheels on it with the spacers and lowered.
Is he my right now?
No, I think I looked at it and I was
I would
like,
actually rather have
looks pretty
that
good.
now than this. So Timmy,
No, they're my wheels now. Now I like them, I think.
I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I know.
your car's actually come together finally. Looks good.
Looks
my
good.
car. Sparky needs to get in here and add a little something. I don't know what's going on.
Who's Sparky?
That's what you call electricians. Anybody with like power juice.
Do you want an electrician to come fix this car?
Yes.
That would
All
be
right.
crazy.
Well, who fixes an alternator? Someone who knows something about power and electricity, right?
Yeah, it's a very specific, it's usually like a starter alternator guy and that's all they do.
He must be fun at parties.
That's all they do?
Oh yeah, no, they're
I changed
they're a load of fun.
copper coils.
That's the specialty. There's not many of them around anymore. Yeah, fair.
Fucking boring.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What's going on with the F12?
the 12.
Well, made a couple floorboards. So we've got
Oh,
floorboards for each side now.
that's good.
Made the passenger side seat mounts, those are ready, and now I'm making a rear firewall. So we gotta basically cover the back of the car completely, separate it from the driver compartment. So everything back here will be, fuel cell, smoke, radiator, all that will be separated from the driver compartment. So
Makes sense.
working on that now. Bunch of templates, cutting a piece of cardboard, taping them together.
There's a lot of work building a race car.
It is.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until just now.
Yes.
Just now, it's been a year since I started this project. Now I realize there's a lot
It's
of
just
work.
all the little things. There's
Yeah.
just-
And stuff that you can't really film because, like, do you guys want to watch Mike build a firewall?
I mean,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
so-
All right,
so
guys, I'll
today-
leave the camera here for the next 6 hours. You guys want to watch this?
Yeah. Well, this is what we did. So I made a template for the floorboard, took a picture of it, and then I turned it into a file in Fusion 360
from a photo.
from a photo, and then traced over it with the dimensions of this.
Yeah.
And then sent it to the plasma machine and cut it out. And then I can add holes exactly where I wanted them, so everything is there, ready to go. So that simplifies it. We still got to have a template
Fair
to
enough.
get it started. So
That's crazy.
that's what I'm doing with the firewall now, because now the cage and the tubes coming back and all that, everything has to, be in just the right spot, so there's no gaps.
Yeah.
Put it all together, cut little sections out of it, because it obviously has to go in past the tube, put those pieces back in.
This is why my brain's not good for this. Mike's telling me all this stuff, and as impressive as it is, I could care less.
It is not exciting at all to do this.
No.
It's just stuff that has
All
to
I
get
want to
done.
do is drive the car.
Yes.
I'm like, when's the car going to be done?
I feel like he's almost there.
Every day I walk in, I just look at Mike. Hey, Mike, how's it going? When's the car going to be done? And he just laughs. Goes
Like,
back to what he's
when are you
doing.
going home, Damon?
Yeah. Now, when's your next trip, Damon? For 2 weeks. There is going to be some dedicated F12 updates, like I said to you guys. We're just going to let Mike get a little further along, and then we're going to have some bigger updates where things happen, probably more around the motor.
Yeah.
Like when the motor comes back, we'll have some stuff that you guys can share and
Yeah, it's
visually.
that's going to be cool, but things are going to come together quick. When we get the motor back, we bolt everything back together, all the exhaust, drop it back in the car, we start doing all the plumbing, the water lines, the fuel lines, like a lot of stuff will visually change pretty quickly.
And then these guys, you can explain kind of why you're doing what you're doing, and then all the nerds, which I know you're out there. Yeah, you. Yeah, I'm looking at you right now.
It's okay.
You are
okay.
going to get to nerd out with Michael Essa on the outcome of this car coming together, and I will be nowhere to be found, and you guys will love it because you won't have annoying Damon or Dave. You'll just have Michael Essa talking tech facts and fittings and lines.
You guys
and-
watch that video. We'll be at the club dancing, being cool.
Yes, at the
club.
Cool, cool.
What are you talking about?
Cool.
When was the last
Cool.
When was the last time we went to a club?
Every day, bro.
It's every day, bro.
Dude, who's the DJ tonight? Yeah, I know him. I'm gonna get us in.
Jesus Christ.
Okay,
You know what my buddy told me once, Dave? Save it for the weekend.
Save it for the weekend. Mike saves it for after 6 o'clock at night. Goes home, has a whiskey. What's the family? What'd you do all day? I built an F-12. Get on the simulator.
Oh, I miss the simulator. When you get us running, bring it over here. Put it in the corner so when you guys are doing this, we can be in the simulator.
That wouldn't be distracting at all for these guys. By the way, the Sketchy mechanic strikes again also in here. The reason why that car is on the lift is because Sketchy mechanic also touched that car. Didn't touch Dave's car.
That's actually true.
A lot of problems in that thing.
Now what'd you do?
So remember when you were like, hey, on your Huracan, the license plate's crooked. I was like, that's weird. They made a frame, it's metal, it's like not gonna bend. So I went and looked, and my left side of the diffuser is missing a whole bunch of bolts and was hanging down, which is why the plate was crooked.
Actually?
There's one bolt that backed out.
Oh, you know who, yeah.
Don't even start with me.
Do you know who,
You know who
had
worked
it
on
off
it
last? Don't say it, we're not gonna say
You
it.
see it down here? Look, show them how it hangs. Look at this. So this side's tight, see the bolts? This side's missing them.
It's supposed to be like this, but right now it's.
So it doesn't look like much dramatically, but when you drive behind the car, you can see it's on a slant going down.
When you're doing 60 miles an hour, there's a lot of wind underneath
This
there.
side's hanging down.
Yeah.
The list continues.
The list.
By the way, none of our stuff ever came back. Dave reached out and he was like, yeah, I'll get that back to you. And then never calls us back.
Some stuff went missing and we made contact to get it back. There's a commitment that'd be brought back and it's expensive stuff. I won't say the dollar amount or anything like that because obviously for legal reasons, but we didn't get it back. So we're just learning our mistakes. The idea was to have an in-house technician so all the cars were dialed in, but just a pain in the ass and didn't work out. And now we're like, well, we'll just use shop. So how much worse is it driving the 599 with the heavy wheels on it compared to the light wheels?
It's awful.
Stealer's remorse?
No, because I didn't steal anything. They're my wheels. Those and those.
Possession. These are yours? You cracked yours.
This is a 21-inch wheel with a 335 width tire.
It's wide.
Literally, that's a 20 on the front. This exact setup is what's on a GT3 RS for grip, for gripping. This doesn't make any sense to be on this car if we're gonna, slide it around and do stuff. Way too much grip. So.
And what is this, a 20? This is a Huracan size, right?
Yeah, it's a 20 on the rear and a 19 on the front.
No.
It's actually the same setup as 720S.
We had a coolant issue. It blew a coolant line, and I haven't tried it yet. Tim's gone, and I think it's dialed in. But there's only one way to stress test here at DD, and that's to go for a drive. So I think you need to take the 599 out. Let's see if she's good to go.
Well, let's call Tim first because he was talking about like putting more coolant in it. You have to pump all the air out of it.
It's what you should do, but it's not what we're gonna do. So 599 being a Ferrari, Ferraris kill batteries, so you have to constantly leave it plugged into a tender charger like that, see? And you also have to turn it on and off because it kills batteries, so. Now is that on or is it off now? Wait, now it's on. You don't trust the process? You wanna check in with our tech?
I don't trust you. I trust the process if the process was completed. Is the black 599 okay to start?
Yeah.
And can Dave drive it?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Tim. It doesn't hurt to call once in a while. The audience doesn't like broken cars, and to reiterate, neither do we.
No.
We also want to push the boundaries and the limits, what this channel's all about.
Ready, guys?
It's loud.
Wanna hear it from over here? So all we have now is a TPMS light and a light failure. That's all the check engine lights we have. And for our track record, that's pretty good. It's so loud, I can't hear myself talk, so I don't pronunciate words properly. Let's pull it out. Let's pull it out. She said, warm it up nicely. What was that? That was a coilover spring binding and unbinding. Oh, is that what it was? Scared the crap out of me. Yeah, I heard it. There's a big tink. You know what? I actually like this car with these wheels on it. It gives some contrast. Yep. It's not awful.
No, I like it. I think these wheels are actually kind of cool, like retro. That's the thing about like all the modern stuff.
When you can get away with putting something retro on, it looks cool. I like it.
Like retro wheels, right? That's what those are. Retro race car wheel.
Jump in your fancy hypercar. I'll get in my old man Ferrari. Let's head towards Orange County. I think I might be able to get a few cars together. 2.
Who?
An SVJ and an F8 are going for a little drive tonight. And we'll see what happens. But I want to be able to put some stress on this car, make sure it doesn't break, because it's the weekend.
Drive it around the block for 2 seconds before we get it 5 blocks away and it dipped.
No, we should just start driving on the freeway.
You're a psychopath. Just drive it around the block for a minute. At least get it to temp.
At least. Right, guys? See if the water comes up to temp. By the way, I've been trying to stay hydrated, so I walk around with a bottle of water all day. It's also been extremely hot here, dehydrating.
Let's see if anything bad happens. No. No. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that.
This is not gonna end well, is it? I will give it to him. It is a lot of fun. The handbrake as an element of joy to this car, but it's really in conjunction with the manual conversion, because that's what gives you the clutch pedal to be able to push in the clutch when you do pull the handbrake.
And so far, so good.
Is it up to temp yet?
No.
No. All right.
I was pulling the handbrake, by the way. That was literally clutch in.
I saw that.
Handbrake.
I saw that, being naughty.
Since we're putting the heat into engines of cars, cold start.
How's it doing?
You know what? I think this car might be perfect now.
Really?
No issues on the dash. Power steering's amazing. It's holding temp.
You gonna take it then?
Yeah, let's go for a drive and just make sure.
Uh-oh. Let's go.
In all fairness, it's what we got these cars for. We just had to dial them in so they could handle this.
No way!
What's that?
How nervous are you around next to the Senna?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
But I could see the car, so I was kind of like, oh yeah, if it stepped out and just took out the front end,
That would not be funny.
it would not be good.
The power steering feels so much better. Before, if you did that, it would have locked. So as soon as it brings it back, you're fighting it. So thank you, Mike Gasser, for doing that. Again, making these cars reliable for their intended use of messing around, making them bulletproof is what we're using. So we basically figured out the cooling system, dealt with that, power steering dealt with that. Now we have a fun car to around in. Got a little fun handle. By the way, I broke the rear axle on this car because it had the really wide tires on it. Being a car guy, as you probably know watching this, is very emotional. When the car is running, you love it. It's the best thing in the world. When the car is not running properly, you hate it and you want to get rid of it. You want to burn to the ground and never see it ever again. It's a love-hate thing. It's just part of the game. Now, speaking of love, I was going for a drive with Damon yesterday in the Senna. And I was like, man, I really miss having a McLaren. Now, I've never had a Senna, obviously, but the DNA is there and the experience is quite similar. I really miss my 675 LT. The truth is, I'm not gonna buy it back. I've learned the hard way that some things are better left in memory. But I have my eye on a new McLaren, not brand new, it's used. But it's the ultimate spec and honestly model that I would want. There's a lot of work to happen between me buying that car and me talking about buying that car. But I emailed today to see if it's still available. It's in Canada. It is my dream spec. I won't say what model it is, but stay tuned because this is the ultimate
like, let's go on a road trip. It's not a GT, by the way. Let's go on a road trip, put miles on it, let's go rip the highways together. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we're gonna admire David Senna.